Hello everybody, hope you all are doing good out there. Recently, I picked up this 1980s or 1970s road bike. I'm not exactly sure where it falls in that category. It's somewhere in the 70s or somewhere in the 80s. If any of y'all know for sure, if you would comment down below. When I originally saw it, I was thinking it was probably from the 80s. The only thing that made me think it might be from the 70s is there were some guys on the internet who had this exact bike, and they said they bought it in 1973. The reflectors in the pedals, and it had a big one in the back wheel when I got it. That made me think that it was probably 80s, but if y'all know for sure, I'd like to know. This right here is a Royce Union Supreme. Now, a Royce Union, that's a company that's been around a long time, and there's been a lot of other manufacturers that has produced bicycles for them from different areas. This particular one was made in Japan. And from what I understand, it was probably made in the Panasonic factory. If you compare any of the old Panasonic bikes, it looks basically identical in every category on the frame. And from what I understand, this was probably made by Panasonic for Royce Union. This is the badge on the front, Royce Union, made in Japan. And then of course it says Anno 1904. Anno means in the year of. And then the particular make is Supreme. The font's kind of strange. It's kind of hard to make that out as saying Supreme. But that's what it says. That is the model. Now this is one of your classic 1980s road bikes. You got your steel lugged frame. And the great thing about a steel lugged frame is the strength of it and the simplicity of it. Steel is a lot more forgiving than aluminum, and it's going to ride a lot smoother because steel will absorb bumps and jars in the road better than aluminum will. Also, if anything ever happens to it, it's a lot easier to repair steel than it is aluminum. But you get your same basic downsides. A steel frame can rust. That's the biggest thing. The second downside of steel is that it's a little heavier than aluminum. So a bicycle like this might come in around, I weighed this one, it's just about 30 pounds. But as you can see, it's a pretty large bicycle. This bicycle is a 12-speed. I believe the low gear is 30 and the high gear is 13. And then up on your regular old cog gear, your chain ring, you got 42 for the small and 52 for the large, which is a pretty common size for back in the day. All of the equipment for the most part is Shimano. You can see this brake is a Shimano Tourney. The derailleur is a Shimano Atlas. Same thing for the front derailleur. The chain ring is also Shimano. Says Shimano Selecta on it. Our brakes are the Shimano Del 50, I believe is what that says there. And our shifters again are Shimano Atlas. So when you go out to buy an older steel road bike like this, one of the things you want to look at, of course, is condition. You want to look at the way the frame is put together. Is it constructed well with steel lugs and such? But the big thing you've got to keep in mind is the components that are used on it, because depending upon the components that are used can tell you a lot about it. Well, that wasn't planned. Let me set that back up. Okay. That fixed it. We've had so much rain lately, everything just wants to sink. Nevertheless, when you're looking at one of these old road bikes, look at the components that are on them. Because most of these companies, when they make old bicycles, all the name brand is usually making is the frame, if they're even making that. You see, like on this one right here, you look at this frame. If the frame looks good, that's what's made by Royce Union or made by Panasonic for them in Japan. All your drivetrain, whether it's your chain ring, whether it's your cassette, your rear derailleur, your front derailleur, your brakes, your brake levers, your shifters, everything is made by Shimano. Even the hubs on this are made by Shimano. And so don't get so caught up on a name brand that you won't buy a bicycle that you get a good price on. Because again, all you're really paying for is that frame. Everything else, for the most part, is usually going to be made by another company like Shimano. This bicycle right here, I got for about 20 bucks. It had been sitting in a barn somewhere, and it was covered in hay dust. At least that's what I recognized it as. I've baled enough hay in my day to know what hay dust looks like when it gets stuck on grease. And everything was completely clotted up with hay dust, and the tires were flat. So I bought it, brought it home, did a lot of cleaning on it, cleaned it all off, adjusted out the rear derailleur, the front derailleur. The brakes didn't need adjusting, but they were seized. Put some oil on them, they come right loose, and aired up the tires, and I've been riding it, and it rides absolutely wonderful. Now, I am going to put new tires on it. I need to do that. These hold air, but the gum wall around the sides is just coming off too bad. Now, one of the pluses of buying an older bicycle that has somewhat generic components on it is that it's easy to upgrade or easy to replace. And a bicycle like this that you've paid 20 bucks for, 25 bucks for, or even if you pay 50 for it, or we may say even 100 for it, you've got enough money left over that you can fix it up and get it exactly like you want it. If you went out to buy a brand new road bike, first off, it's going to be made in China most likely. And on top of that, besides from that point, when you go out to buy that, you're going to be paying at least $300-400 bucks for one that's even worth having if it's brand new. You see this bicycle right here? Pay 20 bucks for it. You can upgrade your brakes. You can upgrade your seat. You can upgrade your handlebars. You can upgrade your wheels and tires if you want to, your chain rings, your cassette, your pedals. You could go through this whole thing and not have over $200 in it. And that's a big benefit. And so that's one of the things that I like about these older bicycles is that you can make it exactly how you want it and still have very little money in it. Plus, as y'all who watch this channel know with all the knife videos and stuff, I like older things and I like restoring and cleaning stuff up. And an old bicycle like this, if you like to restore stuff, is going to be one of your dreams. But there are a lot of things on an older road bike like this that I'd like to leave the same. For instance, the paint. If you'll notice, the paint, where it was originally, I'm assuming it was a shiny black originally. It may have been a matte black. But over the years, it has kind of faded and took on this dark black / gunmetal kind of look to it. And I think it just looks absolutely great. I like the color. And I like the patina on it. I'm not thinking a thing about repainting this frame. But on the other hand, all the components on it I would like to have shiny and have looking new and make sure they're in perfect working condition, which I've already done that. It rides absolutely wonderful. I've probably ridden it 20-25 miles since I got it recently. Now, the first upgrade that I want to do on this is I'm going to switch out these brake levers. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with these brake levers. And I'm sure going to keep them because I may end up putting them back on here at some point in the future, or I may be putting them on another bicycle. They're great. They work perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. But if you'll notice, the handlebar wrap is getting a little shaggy over these years, and you can see that it needs replaced. Plus, the new handlebar wrap they have that's more of a foam. I've got some of that on my other road bike, and it's very comfortable because it's cushiony. And that would look good on this. I've got some more black handlebar tape, and that would look really good with the black frame on this bicycle. And so I'm wanting to put that on here anyway, and I need to, because as you can see, this is starting to peel off and so on. So when I was going to do that, I thought to myself, I might put on some modern, what they call ergo brakes. Now, an ergo brake varies a little bit. First off, the cable does not come out of the top of the brake. The cable goes along the bar here, and then you put your bar tape over it. And that frees your front up to put like a bag on the front if you want to put a cargo bag. Or I've got a headlight that I put on here, and that headlight has to shine through my cables. So I was thinking about putting these ergo brake levers on here. Besides that, the way they're designed, they don't come up as much as they come out, so it makes it more comfortable to hold, and they've got a nice rubber hood that comes over them and levels it out, and they just look nice. And I've never had a bicycle with the modern ergo brakes, although I've tried them out before, but I've never owned one. And so I thought this was a good opportunity on this one. Since I only paid 20 bucks for the bicycle or so, I can go ahead and I can put a few different parts on it and still have very little money in it. My plan is to put new Kenda tires with a gum wall on it. New tubes, of course, while I'm at it. And then if I put these brakes on it, why, that'll have this thing looking absolutely great. I found the brake levers. They're like 15 bucks for 2 of them and had really good reviews, so I'm going to try them out. Now, there are multiple benefits to having what's known as a friction shifter. There's been different locations for friction shifters. Sometimes they would be at the end of the drop bar. Sometimes they're down here around this area on the down tube. But back in the 70s and 80s, it was common to put them up here on the neck. And that's where they are in this particular one. One thing I like about this is this all just unbolts. It's easy to take off and to clean and to service. Now, there are some big benefits to friction shifters. One thing is they're simple. The rear derailleur moves as much as you move this lever. It doesn't have any clicks. It is not indexed. And one of the big benefits of having one that isn't indexed is if you're out on a long ride and, you know, sometimes something will kick up and may hit your derailleur, or if your derailleur gets bent or something along those lines. If you got an indexed road bike, if something gets bent back there, it can be very hard to get the thing running again. On this one, all you got to do is just tweak it up or down a little bit if the rear derailleur gets bent so you can get back home. The other thing is there's no detents to brake as on an indexed rear derailleur. You don't have all the fancy plastic parts, you know, and all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers and everything on it. And it's simple. It's just down here on the neck. You've got it, and that's all there is to it. Just move it as far as you need it. Another benefit is if it starts making noise a little bit when you shift a gear, you can tweak it left or right a little bit to make sure it's running smooth all the way through. Those are some of the benefits of a friction shifter, but the other big benefit is in the brake levers. On most modern road bikes, you're going to have your shifter somewhere here on the brake lever, which means you're going to have 2 cables going to each side, and you're going to have a bunch of levers, and it's very bulky up here. By leaving those on the neck, all you have up here is the brakes, and that's all you got to worry about. And so you can get a nice pair of ergonomic brake levers for a lot cheaper because it doesn't have to have all the shifter mechanism, all the indexing, and all that kind of stuff in it. It can be just a plain old brake lever, and so it's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot easier to do. And so those are a few things I'm planning to do here on this road bike. And that should have it super, super nice after I do those few things. And you'll still have just very little money in it. If you could buy a decent road bike for $500 brand new, I can fix this one up just as nice for $100. And that's the neat thing about old road bikes. Y'all comment down below, what do you think of old road bikes? Or old bicycles in general? How do you feel about steel frames and different upgrades you do? What would you upgrade on this, and what would you leave the same? I believe I'm going to do a few videos showing how to do little things. Maybe it'll help somebody who's looking at it. I'm no great bicycle mechanic or anything, but I do enjoy messing with it. So I think I'm going to do a video soon showing how to replace the front brake levers, the cables, the stops, and show how to wrap the handlebar. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good day.